Hello, my name is Rusty. My channel is Rusty78609, all lowercase, no spaces. I've full-time RV'd for 23 years. I'm 71 years old and retired, and I live in Central Texas, USA. It's 7:47 a.m. Central Standard Time, August the 13th, 2016. Not bad, huh? Anyway, what I was going to talk about today for you new guys, you old-timer RVers, or you full-timers, this is not going to be any news to you. But some of the new guys are just starting out, or the ones that haven't even bought an RV yet and they're just thinking about it. This is something that you might need to be aware of and later on need to become familiar with, and that is getting ready to go in your RV. Because I promise you, I've had 4 RVs and I've made just about every mistake you can make, okay? Some of them I made more than once. And what is the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Okay? So anyway, what I'm going to touch on this morning is getting your RV ready to go. I mean, you got it now, you got it home, you got all your stuff in it, and you're ready to go camping. So, what you can do is, now I'm going to go, I've got an old checklist here that I've had for years, and it's kind of dated, so it's not going to be all inclusive, but it's going to give you some general tips on how to get going. So what you can do, you can put what I do. Here's what I do. My kitchen, my stuff on top of the stove, the pots, I just stick them in the oven. All that stuff goes in the oven. Everything else around the kitchen sink goes in the kitchen sink. But first, before I put the stuff in the kitchen sink, I either put in a newspaper if I have one, or if I don't, I just throw in a towel or two, an old towel. I always have some old towels around, and so the dishes don't bang against the sides of the sink and stuff. Kind of keeps them from, banging around, I guess. But anyway, so I just throw a towel in there. You got a double sink, so you can put a lot of stuff in there. And anything that's left over, I've always got some little plastic containers I can put stuff in. And as you full-time RV, you're going to acquire little knickknacks and stuff, and you're going to get more and more and more and more and more. So you're going to need more and more and more and more little storage boxes. But anyway, so you get all your stuff put away. Be sure all your cabinet doors are shut, closed all the way, and that they're not going to pop open. Okay, this is an RV I'm in. This is a 26-foot bunkhouse Jayco J-Flight, and I've lived in it for 3 years. And believe me, I've pulled an RV, a travel trailer, lots of miles, lots. And anyway, in your cabinets, where you're going to put your canned goods and your glasses and your plates and stuff, get you a roll of that. It's non-slip pad stuff. Put that in there first so your dishes won't roll around. And just a tip, and I know it's not going to help anything. If it's just an individual, you don't need 9 plates. You don't need 9 glasses, okay? Get you 2 or 3 glasses and 2 or 3 plates. You're good. And the same way for a married couple. I've been in RVs, fifth wheels, particularly the big ones with the pop-outs all around. And, they'll have enough silverware and plates and stuff to feed 40 people. But different strokes for different folks. The less you take, the better off you are. So you got the stuff in the sinks, and you can also, in the bathroom area, put stuff in that little sink, and you can also put stuff in the bathtub. But put a towel or something in there so it doesn't roll around too much, or, kind of organize it, because if it's breakable and you put it in that bathtub, you'll just have a broken item when you get where you're going. Okay? Then you can put stuff on the couch. Most of the TVs now are, they're fixed. But if you have a separate TV, you can just lay it on the couch or somewhere, put it on the bed, and you're good to go. Be sure that you lock your refrigerator, because if you don't, you're going to do like I did one time. I arrived at a campsite and opened the door, and the ice chest, the ice trays were right there at the door. I wonder how they got there. They must have walked. Anyway, also turn your fridge off of electric and put it on propane before you leave, because if you don't, it won't go. It'll go there automatically. Most of the refrigerators, when you unplug the electric, go to propane automatically. But if you manually switch it, you've got it done. if you have a if you have the old propane heater that was just propane only, be sure it's off, and be sure the heater's off anyway. And also, you got to get the jacks out, unhook from the water, electric and stuff. Septic hose, we'll talk about that in a minute. La da 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 da. Okay. Now you got the inside done, go outside. And I did all this by myself. If it's a married couple, you can let the lady do the inside, the guy do the outside, and it takes 10, 20 minutes and you're ready to go. Anyway, go outside. The first thing I always did, I just went ahead and got the jacks down, put them in the back of my pickup, and then I didn't unplug the electric till last. The water, I left it. I would go ahead and unhook it, and get the pressure off the hose, and then I would unhook the septic hose, okay, and hold it up, kind of walk it down to where it goes in the ground, and get all the poo-poo out of it, so to speak. And then take the hose that's hooked up to your RV, turn it up, turn the water on it, and flush out your line, your little drain hose, clean it out real good. So then you can just roll it up and throw it in the back of your vehicle or wherever you store it, and it doesn't have any poo-poo in it, okay? And I also carried 2 drain hoses. I carried one short one about 8 feet long. I mean, it may have stretched to 10, I don't know, but about 8 feet. And then I had another one that was like 15 feet. Why? Because sometimes you get in an RV park and your little septic hookup's a long way off. And then sometimes you get there and it's right beside the RV and you don't need a 15-foot hose, and there's no sense having all that stuff. So get you 2 hoses. They're cheap as dirt. Some people put the septic hose on those little stands so that it inclines down to the little hole in the ground. Does that matter? I don't know. I'm sure it helps. I never used one. I just would take sometimes I took a board. I'd have like a 4 or 5 foot board in the back of the truck, and I'd just prop it up there with a rock and then let it go as far as it would, and that was the end of that shit. Let me tell you, the more you do it, the better you get at shortcuts. Okay, so you're all unhooked. You got all your hoses unhooked, except for the electric. The reason I say that last, what you can do then, even though the electric, if you have an electric, what do they call it, tongue jack, electric tongue jack. If you have an electric tongue jack, even though it's hooked up to the batteries and it will work off the batteries, if you have your electric still hooked up, it works much better. Okay, it does. It doesn't drain your battery either. So go ahead and get your jack get your screw jacks up all the way. Get all your jacks out from under your RV, and then raise your tongue of your RV, your travel trailer up, and then back your vehicle up. Go ahead and get it down. Get it hooked up. Get it on the ball. Then unplug your electric and push it into the little hole in the side of the RV where it goes, and then you're all unhooked. You got the jacks up. You got the water done, septic done. The inside's pretty much done. And go ahead and hook up your hitch, and there's sway bars people have. I used to for sure have the sway bars. You got to have those. And then there's some other things you can add to keep the trailer from doing this. So and get that. Those items do help. Anyway, we won't talk about the hitch too much there. Once you've got everything done, you're hooked up. You got your trailer hooked up to your tow vehicle. Everything's unhooked. Walk around, okay, and look up under the RV. Just walk around your RV real slow. Look up right on top. And there's usually 2 things you forget. One, put the antenna down if you had it up. Okay, sometimes now not too many people use their antenna, but still a few people do. It comes in handy sometimes. It works most places. So get the antenna down. The next thing people forget, put the steps up. Okay, and another thing that I forgot many times, double lock your door. Because I was driving down the highway on Interstate 10 going out west, and a trucker, I could see him flashing his lights, and I thought, I wonder what's wrong with him. Well, it was me. Anyway, he kind of got my attention. I slowly pulled over on the side, and a lot of traffic. So I finally got out and got around there, and sure enough, there was my trailer door just would have been flopping in the wind. So anyway, shut the door. That's not all that happened. Later on, a few years later, I guess. I don't know. I think it was on I-40 going west and cruising along, pretty day. Trucker, blink, blink. Truckers are good at letting you know something's wrong, okay? Because they treat each other that way. And so when they see an RVer, they'll flash their lights and stuff. So if they ever flash their lights at you or come beside you and honk or do something like that, pull over because you probably got a problem. And anyway, I pulled over that time, and guess what happened then? The back part of my awning, the screws had come out, and it was flopping around. I hate awnings, okay? Anyway, so I finally worked around there and got it wired up so it would stay there till I could get to a service station somewhere and do some serious work on it. But those are just a few of the things that can happen as you're pulling an RV. Another thing, whenever you arrive at your next site and you open the door and your ice trays are there, well, don't be surprised. Or you forgot to put something away and it's waiting for you at the door, so that when you open the door, it falls out on the ground and breaks, and it only costs $1,000. You know, do those things happen? Yeah. And, you know, if you're careful, they won't happen often, but things happen, okay? Another thing, so you arrive at your site. I never put out the awning, but I did also notice, and this was pointed out to me in a comment that I got this morning, you know, a lot of people have a big mat. You know, they'll have a 12 by 12 mat that they put out, and those things are heavy. You know, it says an indoor-outdoor carpet, and you know, I guess it's handy. But do you need one that big? No. You know, get you a little mat at Walmart that's a 2 or 3 foot by 2 foot or whatever. Maybe get two. If you feel like your feet are going to be that dirty, get two of them. Because what happens is, this guy pointed out, you know, it rains and all that mat is just a little swimming pool then. You know, that big mat you got becomes a swimming pool. And, you know, to get mud tracked on it, and then you got a mess. So, you know, they can be a pain in the ass, okay? So as you've RV'd year after year after year, these little things become less and less important, and you realize what works and what doesn't work. And I'm telling you, just some nice little mats work great. Just throw them out there. Maybe if you want to get 2 or 3, great. Wherever you want to put them, fine. But, you know, most RV parks just have dirt. And, you know, whenever it rains, it gets muddy. So you probably need a way to, you know, to wipe your feet off. You know, sometimes I just take my shoes off and push them up under the RV. Did I care? No. But anyway, be that as it may. So we've covered the, you know, getting ready to go, arriving at the site. Well, when you arrive at the site, you don't have much to do. You know, you back in. That can be a little, if you're not a truck driver, that can be a pain in the ass too. And a man and a wife can get a divorce over that. Okay, I promise you, because I've listened to them before. She's back there going this way, and he's going that way, and she's going like this, and he's going, what the shit, you know? It's what you call a breakdown in communication, all right? So if you get a backup camera at the back of your RV, I don't even know if they have such a thing, but they might. But there may be a way to rig one up. That might be a big help. I've seen people do all kinds of things, but if old truck drivers, you can spot them in a heartbeat. Boy, they zip right in there. There's nothing to it. Back end spots are not that difficult. I did it by myself for years, and you know, unhooking and hooking is not difficult. One person, I've done it for years, and you know, of course, if you've got that little camera at the back of your tow vehicle that shows when you got lined up and you're over the ball just right, your hookup ball. That's handy. Would I get it? Yep, I would. But anyway, having said all that, this is Rusty 78609, Central Texas, USA. A little tip on getting ready to go and arrival, and hopefully you don't forget any stuff. Have I ever forgotten some stuff? Yep. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, yeah. I bet I went off and left. I've had a folding chair. Have I ever left it? Yep. And it dawns on you about 50 miles away, just far enough away where you're thinking, shit, should I just leave it? Or should I turn around and go back and get it? You know, it's $20. Is it worth it? Answer, probably not. At 8 or 10 miles a gallon, it probably isn't. So having said all that, folks, thumbs up. RVing is okay. It's fun. It can be. I mean, you know, I'm giving you some of the negative stuff, and I guess that's not good. But well, not negative so much, but I point out the downsides, and I got a comment saying, you know, I guess you didn't enjoy RVing. Yeah, I did. I enjoyed the hell out of it. What I really enjoyed, and I'll be brief, is what's called boondocking. You know, I just, you know, go pull out on public land somewhere or go out somewhere where there's not anybody or very few people and dry camp, that's okay. That, you know, but you got to be, you know, I had solar. I had about 150 watts worth of solar, but I didn't have them mounted on the RV. I had them on stands. They just set on stands. It was a pretty simple little deal because, you know, it's not, for me, it can't be too complicated or I ain't going to do it. But now they've got panels that are flexible that you can mount on top of your RV. You can get 200 watts, uh, less than $500. Now, 200 watts will do anything you want to do. It won't run the AC, but it'll run everything else and it'll charge the batteries even on a cloudy day. So, and you can always go up. You can always go to 400, 600, 800 watts. You get a 1,000 watt system, you're there, babe. Kind of pricey, but with the efficiency of the solar today, do it. It's worth it. You'll enjoy it. Particularly enjoy the dry camping, and yeah, whenever you can, you know, use your laptop or watch some TV or watch some old videos or something. It does. Even though you're not going to do it much, it's nice. So anyway, thumbs up. Carpe diem. Adios. Bye. 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 Why do I do that? I did a video about that.